Friday the 13th, 1980, is one of the most legendary slashers ever made, but behind the screams, the movie hides some shocking secrets, from dangerous stunts and creepy accidents to lawsuits and secret Hollywood scandals. Tonight, we're diving into 20 weird facts you didn't know about Friday the 13th. Stick around until the end, because fact number 20 will change how you see Jason Voorhees forever. Fact 1. The movie was born from Halloween's success. Producer Sean Cunningham wanted a quick cash-in after Halloween, 1978. He didn't have a story, just a title. He even took out an ad in Variety with the words Friday the 13th smashing through glass before a script even existed. The hype came first, the film came later, and if you think that's bold, wait until you hear how one actor almost suffocated during his death scene. Coming up in fact number 6. Fact 2. The original title was A Long Night at Camp Blood. Yep, that was the working title. Creepy, yes, but nowhere near as iconic. But Cunningham knew it wasn't catchy enough. He brainstormed Friday the 13th because it carried superstition, mystery, and fear. He even took out an ad in Variety months before the movie was written, just to claim the name and hype people up. One name change took this from a forgettable B movie to a horror legend. Fact 3. Jason wasn't the real killer. Everyone associates Jason with Friday the 13th. But in the first movie, he's not the killer. His mother, Pamela Voorhees, played by Betsy Palmer, is the one doing all the murdering. Jason only appears briefly as a child in the final jump scare. It's one of horror's biggest cases of mistaken identity. People remember Jason, but the original massacre was all mom. Fact 4. Betsy Palmer hated the script. Betsy Palmer, who played Pamela, thought the script was a piece of trash. She only took the job because she needed money to buy a new car. Little did she know she'd become one of horror's most iconic villains, all because of a desperate paycheck. Fact 5. The kikiki ma sound was a happy accident. That chilling sound effect, often mistaken for ch-ch-ah-ah-ah, is actually composer Harry Manfredini whispering ki and ma, short for kill mummy. It was meant to represent Pamela Voorhees' voice in Jason's head. Today, it's one of the most recognizable horror audio cues in history, all created by layering Manfredini's own whisper into an echo machine. Fact 6. Kevin Bacon nearly suffocated during his death scene. Kevin Bacon, who plays Jack, dies when an arrow bursts through his throat from under the bed. It looks brutal, and it almost killed the actor for real. Special effects wizard Tom Savini was under the bed, trying to pump fake blood through a tube. The mechanism jammed, so Savini just blew into it, and the blood exploded out all over Bacon's face. It worked, but Bacon was nearly suffocated in the process. Fact 7. The makeup artist was a Vietnam veteran. Tom Savini wasn't just a makeup guy, he was a Vietnam War photographer, capturing the brutality of real combat. That experience influenced his gore effects in Friday the 13th. He wanted the deaths to feel shocking, not cartoonish, because he'd seen what real violence looked like. His combat trauma became the foundation of the film's ultra-realistic kills. Fact 8. The budget was dirt cheap. The movie cost about $550,000 to make, pocket change compared to Hollywood budgets. Actors were paid very little, with some earning just a few $100s. The cabins weren't even sets. They were real camp buildings in New Jersey with no heat or air conditioning. Cast and crew basically lived the camp experience, only with fake corpses around every corner. Fact 9. A real snake was killed on camera. In one infamous scene, a snake is chopped with a machete. That wasn't a prop, it was a real snake, and it was really killed. Even the handler didn't know it was going to happen. Today, the scene is one of horror's most controversial moments. And if you thought that was disturbing, wait until fact number 10, where the film's final girl faced a real nightmare after filming. Fact 10. Adrienne King was stalked after the film. Adrienne King, who played Alice, survived Jason's mother, but not the fallout from sudden horror fame. She was stalked after the film came out, with a man breaking into her apartment multiple times. Traumatized, she stepped away from Hollywood for years. For her, Friday the 13th wasn't just a horror movie, it became a real-life nightmare. Fact 11. The iconic final scare wasn't in the script. That jump scare where Jason leaps out of the lake, pure afterthought. Sean Cunningham thought the movie needed one last shock, like Carrie's hand from the grave ending. So they filmed Jason grabbing Alice without any setup or explanation. It confused people. Was Jason a zombie, a ghost, a dream? But it worked so well, they kept it. Fact 12. The lake scene was pure misery. Adrienne King floated in freezing water for hours, while Jason actor Ari Lehman hid underwater in prosthetics. Crew members sat in canoes, trying not to drift into frame. Everyone was freezing, exhausted, and miserable, but the scare became legendary. Fact 13. Even the cast didn't know who the killer was. To keep the twist secret, the script didn't clearly reveal the murderer until late. Some actors thought Jason would be the killer. When Betsy Palmer was revealed, even some of the cast were surprised, and it shows in their reactions. Fact 14. Critics hated it. When Friday the 13th opened, critics destroyed it. Roger Ebert and Gene Siskel called it disgusting and accused it of glorifying violence against women. Siskel was so angry, he spoiled the killer's identity in his review and even published Betsy Palmer's home address, urging fans to send her hate mail. Ironically, the backlash only made the film more popular with horror fans. Fact 15. Camp Crystal Lake is real. The movie was shot at Camp Nobi Bosco in New Jersey, a functioning Boy Scout camp. It's still open today, and horror fans can take tours to see the cabins, docks, and lake where the murders were filmed. And if you're brave enough to visit, remember fact number 19. Some cast members swore the place was actually haunted. Fact 16. One actress quit Hollywood forever. Laurie Bartram, who played Brenda, left acting after Friday the 13th. She chose a private life of faith and family, never returning to horror or the convention circuit. Unlike many other cast members, she disappeared from the horror spotlight completely. Fact 17. The franchise was tied up in lawsuits. Sean Cunningham sold the rights to Paramount, but years later, writer Victor Miller sued over ownership of the characters and story. The legal battle dragged on for decades, holding up new sequels and reboots. Even today, rights issues over who owns Jason Voorhees continue to haunt the franchise. Fact 18. Jason wasn't supposed to be the villain. Jason's lake appearance was just a one-off scare. The sequels weren't even planned. But after the first film's massive success, producers realized Jason could carry the franchise. By part 2, he was the full-time killer, wearing a sack over his head, before eventually donning the famous hockey mask in part 3. Fact 19. Cast members believed the camp was haunted. During filming, some cast members swore they heard strange noises in the woods, lights flickered in cabins, equipment went missing, and one actor claimed they saw a shadowy figure standing by the lake at night. Was it paranoia from filming a horror movie in the woods? Maybe, but some crew members refused to go near the lake after dark. Fact 20. A $550,000 movie made $60 million. Despite critics hating it, Friday the 13th earned nearly $60 million worldwide, more than 100 times its budget. It revived the slasher genre and made it one of the most profitable films of its era. It also convinced studios that slashers were pure gold, launching not only the Jason franchise, but an entire wave of copycat horror films throughout the 80s. Not bad for a piece of trash script Betsy Palmer only took so she could buy a new car. And there you have it, 20 terrifying, bizarre, and unforgettable facts about Friday the 13th. Which shocked you the most? That Jason wasn't supposed to be the killer, the real snake being slaughtered, or Kevin Bacon almost suffocating during his death scene? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button if you'd survive a night at Camp Crystal Lake, and subscribe for more deep dives into the movies that made horror history. And remember, if you hear whispers by the lake, don't look back.